So yeah, sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me double check if this is okay. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today. My name is Kelly and I'm the recruiter for UIC College of Pharmacy. I apologize that I wasn't able to make it out there in person because of the weather. But hopefully this will be just as informative. So yeah, we'll just get started right away. So just on the agenda today, we're going to be going over the career paths in pharmacy, an overview of UIC College of Pharmacy, our PharmD program highlights, as well as the admissions process. And this is just a general overview of what pharmacy is. So pharmacists serve as medication specialists on healthcare teams. They provide pharmaceutical care needs for the public. They also educate patients on coordinated medication use as well as safe medication use. And so these are just kind of the different career paths in pharmacy. As you can tell, there's a lot of different paths that you can choose from. So number one, there's community practice. This is kind of just like your local retail pharmacies. So things such as CVS or Walgreens. And in that, you're going to be working in a pretty fast-paced environment with a lot of interaction with the public. And then responsibilities in that include counseling patients, advising healthcare professionals, as well as preparing prescriptions. And then there's also ambulatory care practice. So in that, you're going to be working in like a clinic or a physician's office. And then those responsibilities are also kind of similar. They include counseling patients, advising those healthcare professionals, and then also creating medication therapy plans. And then as for hospital practice, you're going to be working in a hospital setting. So some of those responsibilities include collaborating with those other healthcare professionals, reviewing patient charts, creating medication therapy plans, as well as counseling patients. And then as for the pharmaceutical industry, this one is a little bit of less direct patient interaction than the other traditional healthcare settings. So some of those areas to pursue include research and development. Let me just admit one more person here. So less direct patient interaction than other traditional healthcare settings for the pharmaceutical industry. And then some of those areas to pursue are R&D of new drugs, conducting clinical trials, and also promoting drugs to consumers. And then moving on, there's also managed care pharmacy. So this one is also less direct patient interaction. And then responsibilities also include serving on those committees that are designed to optimize patient care and also designing programs to enhance that care and then also conducting drug reviews. And you can also go into academia. So just settings like working in a college or a school of pharmacy. And those responsibilities include education, doing research, clinical service, and also administration roles. And lastly, there's also public service. So in that, you're going to be working in organizations that are affiliated with the government. So some of those examples include the FDA or the NIH. Sorry. And then this is kind of just a quick background about UIC College of Pharmacy. So we were established in 1859, and we're the one of the oldest academic units of the UIC College, and we're the 5th oldest college of pharmacy in the US. We're consistently ranked pretty high. We're currently number 7 in the nation and also number 1 in Illinois. And then we're also currently in the top 10 for federal research and research funding. And so one thing that we like to emphasize on is that we are one college but 2 campuses. So we do have a campus that's located in Chicago, and then we also have another campus that's located in Rockford. And then you do get to decide which campus that you want to pursue your education on. So basically the Chicago campus, it's located in the city. It's located in the medical district of Illinois of Chicago. So in that you're gonna get a lot of a much of a bigger class size. So we get about 150 new PharmD students per year. And then as for Rockford, it's located about an hour west of Chicago, and that one is, it's also located in a city, but it's more surrounded by like a rural area. And in that you get like a smaller class size. So you get about 30 new PharmD students per year. So about your class size would be around 30 to 40. So yeah, just depending on your preferences, on lifestyle or education preferences, you do get to decide which campus that you want to study at. And then, so one thing that we do offer is also joint and dual degrees. So we offer the PharmD and PhD, PharmD and MBA, and then also the PharmD and MPH for those of you that are interested, if you are interested in doing a joint and dual degree with your PharmD degree. And then, as for concentrations, we offer the Urban Pharmacy Education Program. So this program is located on the Chicago campus just because it is located on an urban setting. So that provides students with an understanding of social and economic issues that contribute to those health disparities that are in urban settings, and also provides skills that those students will use to address those needs of an urban population. And then as for our rural pharmacy education program, that is located on the Rockford campus. So in that, they seek to admit people or students that will locate and practice in those rural communities as rural pharmacists. And then listed down below are some sample employers that we've had in the past. And then another thing that we like to emphasize on is that we have a pretty low student to faculty ratio. So a lot of students really like this just because they get a lot more one-on-one time with their professors as well as their advisors and their peers. While we are a very big college, we do have a pretty low student to faculty ratio. So that's one thing that the students really like about our both of our campuses. And then as for student involvement, so we have about 29 pharmacy student organizations that offer professional, social, and leadership opportunities. We're also very engaged in both of those communities surrounding both campus locations, which offers a lot of opportunities for outreach and engagement within the community. And then I have a quick video, just like a brief overview on UIC College of Pharmacy. Let me know if you're able to hear this because I was having some trouble or having some issues with this earlier.
I think we are constantly thinking about what is new and what's next. How can we better help our patients? How can we improve the field of pharmacy?
We attract all the experts in their fields. So you know that when you're sitting in class, you're really learning from someone that knows their stuff.
Sorry, I just realized, so I think when I'm muted, the audio also mutes, so I'll go back. Um, okay. I think it was silent for the last like 30 seconds, but I don't think it there wasn't any or no, it was just music playing at the end mostly. So hopefully that should be okay. Let me double check my audio really quick to see if everything works. Okay. Mhm. And then, so as for research opportunities, so some of the programs that we offer are the summer undergraduate research program. So that is a 10-week summer program that's offered on both campus locations, and that introduces students to biomedical research. And then there's a link to that below if you are interested. I believe applications are actually open right now. And then another program that we also offer is the Ryback award program. So what that is a 12-week summer program that's offered to PharmD students that are interested in a research career in biomedical sciences. And then there's also a link to that below if you are interested. And then this is just kind of a map of our residencies and fellowships. So as you can tell, there's pretty concentrated in the Midwest and some spreading out in the East Coast as well as in the West Coast. And then, so one thing that we offer is the Summer Pharmacy Institute program. So what this is a 4-day program that's designed to allow students to explore different areas of pharmacy through full-day workshops. And this is usually an in-person event that's offered on the Rockford campus. So I believe this year's sessions run from June 3rd to June 6th. And then we have another session that's running from June 10th to the 13th. And applications are actually open now. I believe they're halfway full. So there's a link to that if you are interested in registering below. I definitely recommend this program for you if you are interested in exploring pharmacy, but you're not really sure yet if it's for you or not. This definitely introduces you to a lot of kind of like a day in the life of a pharmacist, just because you're going to be shadowing you're going to be shadowing some pharmacists, getting to know some of our faculty and staff as well as our peers. So it's definitely a really great program to take advantage of. And then as for scholarships and financial aid, so we do have a one-rate tuition. So for all students, all new PharmD students are going to be assessed at the same rate, no matter if your state residency or your campus locations. So for those of you that live in California, you guys are going to be assessed at the same rate as our Illinois students as well. So definitely a really great thing to take advantage of. And actually, so this is a new thing that our dean just put out this year. We are offering scholarships for out-of-state students for the next starting the next coming school year. I believe I want to say it's around 2,000 to 3,000 per year for new PharmD students that are out of state. So definitely a really great advantage for those of you that live in California. And then as for scholarships, about 10% of students have earned a scholarship or award. 92% of enrolled students receive some sort of financial aid as well. And then as for the scholarship application process, there isn't like a specific scholarship essay that you have to fill out. You just have to submit your application on PharmCast, and then that pretty much considers you for all of those scholarships that are available. And so we do look at applications on a rolling basis. So I definitely would recommend just getting your application in as soon as possible, just so you get priority for those scholarships as well. And then as for the pharmacy admissions pathways, as you can see, there's a lot of different routes that you can go down into. So you can, one, either complete 2 to 3 years of pre-pharmacy coursework and then just apply through the regular pharmacy admissions process on PharmCast. And then again, your coursework can be completed at UIC or just any other university, including community colleges as well. And two, you can complete the undergrad degree and then just apply also through the regular pharmacy admissions process. And then we also have a BSPS major option available if you are interested, that I will go into next. So this is kind of this is our BSPS program at UIC. What this is a Bachelor's of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences program. So what we call this is our 3+4 program. So basically, instead of completing your PharmD degree in a total of 8 years, you can do it all in a total of 7. So basically 3 years of undergrad and then 4 years of PharmD, just because a lot of the classes in this BSPS program they're going to overlap with the PharmD program, so that's what kind of shortens that education a little bit. So yeah, if you are interested in that, there is a link to that below. So yeah. And then just the admissions requirement overview. So you're going to need to complete your pre-pharmacy prerequisite coursework. So that's a minimum of 18 courses. And then they have to be completed by the summer before your fall start. So they don't have to be completed before you apply, but they just have to be completed before you start the program. And then you have to earn a C- or above in those prerequisite courses. And then we also look at your GPA requirements. As for PCAT, that's no longer required. And then PharmCast application, just keep in mind the deadline is March 1st for this 2024 cycle. And then you'll also need to complete a supplemental application as well as a campus interview. And then so this is kind of an overview of our pre-pharmacy prerequisite coursework. So I'll kind of go over this really quick. But you'll need communication courses, your life sciences courses, so your biology and labs, anatomy and physiology, microbiome. And then there's your physical sciences, so your inorganic and organic chemistries, physics, biochemistry, and then your math courses. And then just extra electives. And then so that'll all total to 18 semester courses. And then each course has to be a minimum of 3 semesters or 4 quarter credits. And then you have to earn a C- or above for all of those pre-pharmacy prerequisite coursework. And then as for foreign coursework, they have to be evaluated by World Education Services. And then once you get that World Education Services report, you can submit that over to our PharmD email, and then we can let you know whether or not those courses can qualify for our prerequisites. And then if not, then you can always complete them at any other college or university. And then as for GPA, these are some of the ones that we look at. So we look at your pre-pharmacy prerequisite GPA, your math and science GPA, as well as your cumulative GPA. And then as for PCAT, that's no longer required, so you can decide whether or not you want to take that. And then another thing we like to emphasize is that we do review based on a holistic application review. So we, not only look at your GPA or PCAT scores or your pre-pharmacy coursework, but we also do look at if you have communication and leadership skills, volunteer work, or community service, and also any like pharmacy or healthcare experience. We definitely emphasize a lot more on those, just because when you apply, a lot of the scores and the grades, they're going to look very similar to a lot of the other students. So this is kind of the one thing that makes you stand out. And in that, I would recommend, not everyone can or has access to getting like a pharmacy or healthcare experience. So any type of work experience or any type of leadership experience that demonstrates like communication skills, teamwork skills, leadership skills, any sort of work that demonstrates that is definitely good to include on your resume. And then just a quick overview of our application process. So you'll be applying through FarmCast. So you'll submit your academic history, personal statement, letters of rec, your experiences, and then just keep in mind the deadline is March 1st. And then you'll need to submit a supplemental application as well as complete a campus interview. And then there's also an admissions deposit as well. And then, so this is just a list of our pharmacy admissions contacts. So feel free to reach out to any one of us, actually. So we have our directors, our advisors on there as well. So definitely feel free to reach out if you have any questions or concerns. But yeah, that pretty much completes my UIC College of Pharmacy presentation for today. So I'll kind of just open up the floor to any questions. And you can feel free to type them in the chat as well.
Hi, this is Harry. Could you hear me?
Hi, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, hello. So, to be honest, I'm not quite interested in a pharmacy degree. I'm now doing my master's in biostatistics, and I'm quite interested to step into clinical pharmacology, such as PKPD modeling and pharmacoepidemiology, maybe in next year. And since I didn't apply to any PhD this application season, since I'm doing my first year of masters, and I kind of want to apply maybe this fall to for 2025 to get a PhD position. So I kind of curious about whether UIC has some maybe principal scientists or advisors maybe sophisticated in clinical pharmacology, such as PKPD modeling and pharmacoepidemiology. Thank you.
So were you asking if we have like pharmacology or like we're asking for like a certain concentration?
Maybe clinical pharmacology, such as pharmacokinetic modeling and pharmacoepidemiology for a PhD degree. Yeah.
I believe we do offer that. I think we actually have a website for that, which I can send over to you in a link. Do you want to just shoot me an email and I can send that information over to you? My
Sure,
email
sure.
is at the bottom, so kliang20@UIC. Yeah, just send over an email and I'll send over that information to you.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, by the way, and I'm kind of wondering how is the international student policy for the PhD program?
So were you asking about the PhD program or the PharmD program or
A PhD program.
the PhD program?
Yeah.
So for me, I only work with the PharmD program. So the PhD program is on like a different department. So I'm not too sure what their rules are, but I know for international students, if you're wondering how to apply, I know for PharmD you just apply through like FarmCast, but I'm not completely sure about PhD. I know that's with like a different department in school.
I believe so. Anyway, thanks so much. I will send you an email after this. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good, no problem.
I had a question.
Mhm.
So for the PCAT, is it like optional for like most campuses or is it just specifically this one?
I believe it's almost optional for all campuses now. I'm not too sure about California schools right now, but I know that they're kind of wanting to transition it to getting rid of the PCAT like just in general. So I know that's why like a lot of schools now don't really require it anymore. But I know for sure that our school, it's not required. So you don't have to take a PCAT to get into the PharmD program here.
Oh, okay. So would you recommend to still do it or is it just like there to be there, I guess?
That's kind of like up to you. I think
Okay.
sometimes like people like to take it just because it helps them prepare a little bit more for pharmacy school, just because like a lot of the things that you're studying for and learning in the PCAT applies to what you're going to be learning in pharmacy school. So I guess that's like one of the benefits. But it doesn't affect your application or how we look at your application at all, really, whether or not you take the PCAT.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hi, Kelly. I had a quick follow-up question for some of our
Yes.
students that I had talked to in the past.
Uh-huh.
So since UCSD has about 10% international students, would you say your program is pretty open or helpful for international applicants looking for a PharmD program to get
hmm
admitted to?
hmm Yes, yes, for sure. We definitely get a lot of international student applicants as well as admissions. So definitely very open to that. And then let me just go back to the slide where it has like, yeah, so basically like all of our foreign coursework just has to be evaluated by World Education Services. And then once that is evaluated, they can just send that over in an email to us, and then we can just basically let you know whether or not those courses can qualify or not. And again, they can just take those remaining courses at any like college or university as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
And also for international students, I know I mentioned so the one rate tuition that also applies to international students as well. So everyone basically pays in-state tuition. So definitely a plus for international students.
And then one more admissions question. So besides the March deadline, do you have it as a once a year application, or do you have any additional rolling application dates?
Oh, sorry, I did not hear the last part, but you were asking about March 1st?
Right. So is there, besides the March 1st deadline, do you take applications any other time of the year, or is it just one cycle application and deadline?
Oh, gotcha. So basically March 1st, that deadline is for the fall 2024 deadline. And then the next cycle basically would be for fall 2025. So we basically only run admissions every fall. But we are on like a rolling admissions basis. So basically applications open at around July and then they end around March for that cycle. And they usually open around the same time every year. So I believe applications for 2025 would open this year in July, and then it would end next year, also in March. Let's see, but yeah, that pretty much concludes my presentation. So basically, if you have any other questions or concerns, definitely feel free to reach out to one of us. And we also have pre-admissions advising appointments as well. So in that you can meet with either one of us through Zoom, and then we can kind of advise you on your transcript, as well as give you any tips or advice if you have any of those kinds of questions or concerns. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today. Hopefully this was an informative presentation. But yeah,